Hey, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will learn about the carbon dioxide and oxygen transportation and carbon monoxide poisoning. So let's understand about without wasting any time. So in this way, the carbon monoxide saturation due to incomplete burning, environment and smoking, cigarette, industrial burning. So which that all these things produce carbon monoxide which that inhale through the respiratory system of the person, and in this way will enter into the blood and combine with the hemoglobin tightly, not like oxygen and carbon dioxide but stable bond. So for example, the photosynthesis produces the oxygen by the using of the carbon dioxide to give the oxygen to our lung, to our respiratory system for the aerobic respiration. And in this way, our body will produce carbon dioxide to exhale the carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide will use for plant. Association affinity more with oxygen, less with carbon dioxide with hemoglobin in the respiratory system, while the association with hemoglobin with oxygen less, while carbon dioxide more in the peripheral tissue like here. This is the mitochondria which that use the oxygen to produce carbon dioxide to produce ATP, NADH and GTP as a aerobic respiration. Association with hemoglobin with the oxygen less while carbon dioxide more. So in this way, remember about that thing. The carbon dioxide, oxygen, oxyhemoglobin and the deoxyhemoglobin mean the carbon dioxide containing basically the less oxygen saturation in the venous blood, and the arterial blood basically more. So in this way, for example, the carbon dioxide here which that transfuse into the plasma, and the carbon dioxide dissolve in plasma more, not like the hemoglobin, but the carbon dioxide also combine with the water to carbonic anhydrase to convert the HCO3, the carbonic ions, and in this way, the carbon dioxide and water again dissociate can be and will enter into the alveoli, the air sac, while on the other hand, the carbon dioxide combine also with the hemoglobin to carbaminohemoglobin formation. This will lead to blue color show. While on the other hand, the hemoglobin combine with the oxygen as a respiration during the respiration in the lungs. So the oxygen will diffuse into the hemoglobin, combine with the hemoglobin to remove the one proton, while the oxyhemoglobin will be formed. This oxyhemoglobin will be formed and dissociate near the requirement for the mitochondria, for the tissue, to remove and provide the oxygen to the mitochondria. Glucose to produce pyruvate in the form of glycolysis and aerobic respiration. The pyruvate will enter into the mitochondria for further aerobic respiration by the using of oxygen in the electron transport chain. While on the other hand, here is the less oxygen, so the carbon monoxide will combine more, will lead to cause hypoxemia, and in the blood will lead to cause hypoxia plus poisonous in the cell. This is the hemoglobin which that's combined with the oxygen, so in this way is known as the oxyhemoglobin here. While on the other hand, if for example the carbon dioxide combined with the hemoglobin is very loose bond, it can be detached near the respiratory system and exhale, while the carbon monoxide, the story is different. In this, the carbon monoxide will bind very tight bond and stable, and in this way, the stability of the carbon monoxide is more than the oxygen and carbon dioxide. And in this way, it will undetachable and not release, not exhale, and in this way, you will not consume the oxygen and not exhale the carbon dioxide properly. The physiology will change, everything will change in your body. The carbon monoxide in the electron transport chain, let's understand about the major mechanism. The carbon monoxide, basically poisoning, stop electron transport chain properly cause ATP deficiency, the decrease of the ATP, and the oxidative stress. In this way, this is the electron transport chain contain 4 complexes and the 1 ATP synthase enzyme. The proton will pump out NADH oxidase enzyme lead to pump out the 4 proton in the complex 1 and 2 get the electron from the FADH2, and on the other hand the coenzyme Q10 basically accept the electron as a mobile protein to transmit the electron in the complex 3, and the complex 3 will also give the electron to the cytochrome C, and in this way the excessive amount of the electron while the low level of the oxygen will combine this extra electron to convert the free radical. This is known as the reactive oxygen species, cause oxidative stress and hydrogen peroxide conversion. But anyhow, this basically ATP decrease due to the carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide also inhibits the complex 4, lead to deficiency of the proton gradient production creation, and in this the less amount of the proton will lead to not produce too much because the proton will move in due to the ATP synthase enzyme to produce more ATP, while the decrease of the proton will lead to decrease of the ATP. And in this way, I hope you make sense about that. Less oxygen, so in this way the electron will increase, so the less oxygen combined with the multiple electron will lead to become oxidative stress and reactive oxygen species production, and in this the more stress will lead to damage the cell, even the cell death, necrosis and the cell injury. On the other hand, the ATP will not convert into the ATP more because the proton gradient will not occur because the inhibition of the complex 4 due to the carbon monoxide. On the other hand, the less amount of the oxygen, and in this way, remember about that things. The low level of the ATP will basically cause the many problem like heart attack, and on the other hand, the normal physiology of the body will not occur. In this way, the brain fog. On the other hand, the basically important thing is that the slight headache and the increased respiration, drowsiness, and on the other hand, the pounding headache can be occur. In this is the anaerobic respiration. The glycolysis to produce pyruvate, and the pyruvate further not go into the mitochondria, while the lactic acid production is known as the lactic acidosis, and that is the lactic acid fermentation will lead to cause the stress, fatigue, death, even the carbon monoxide increase 50% will lead to cause many this problem like the unconsciousness and the eventually death. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. The Muhammad Umar Farooq. Thanks. Bye.